I'd like to take this chance to help my fellow industry people to just understand a few more terms that are involved in measuring sugar content. The more people that understand it, the easier it's going to be for all of us, and you'll be able to fully maximise your understanding of your mill data. So the first term I want to talk about, and it's one everyone's probably heard of, is Brix. Now, Brix was a term made up in the wine industry and other industries, and it was basically to measure sugar. So distilled water, 0. The other end, white sugar. That close to 100 doesn't matter. Now, if you get half a part of water, half a part of sugar, mix it all up, you'll get 50 Brix. And Brix is often measured in the field with a refractometer or in the juice lab with by specific gravity with a Brix spindle. But just to give an idea on that scale, you've got 0 as water, 100 as sugar. Cane juice tends to be in the 15 to 25 range. Something like a mill syrup, 70, molasses, 85. So you can get a fair idea what Brix means. Also very useful for checking the maturity of cane by comparing the Brix at the bottom, middle and top of your sticks. And early on, these are the sort of numbers when you're looking for maturity. You see those sort of numbers. And when it gets late in the season, you'll get a lot of that sort of stuff with suckers. So, yeah, Brix is a measure of the sugar content. And another measure of sugar content is called Pol. And same thing, in the lab, water is 0, white sugar is 100, and it makes use of the phenomena that light is, plain polarized light is screwed one way or the other by the sugars. It's one of the special things about sugar. Now sucrose, which is glucose and fructose stuck together, it has an optical rotation of 66. That doesn't matter much. But when you pour it into a polarimeter at the mill, the more the sugar is, the light is rotated, the analyzer screws it back and you get a pol reading. Now that's great, but when you have a presence of reducing sugars, and they're normally only 1% of the juice, and that's the glucose and fructose when they're free, they're not stuck together. Now, glucose doesn't rotate as much as sugar, sucrose. It rotates about 52 degrees. And then the real big one is the fructose. Fructose is known as a left-handed sugar, and it rotates the rotation of plain polarized light backwards, negative 92. So there are those numbers if you need them. 66 for sugar, 52 for glucose, and negative 92 for fructose. So when there's not a lot of suckering, it doesn't matter so much, and everything sort of remains in balance. So once again, Pol is also a measure of sugar, like Brix was, but it changes over time. Now, this is the most interesting number, even more important than the CCS in my opinion, and the purity is Pol over Brix. Now, in white sugar, Pol's 100, Brix is 100, purity is 100. So there we go, white sugar's close to 100% because it's the Pol on the Brix. But with cane juice, because juice is has all different stuff in it, and when it's immature it's about 80, and at the peak of its purity it's about 92. Suckers, which I've been going on a lot about lately, is a lot lower purity, and the other, we don't know a lot about them. That's what we've got to do stuff about them. But when you have a lot of suckers and they become a big mass fraction of your cane supply, they have more and more of this fructose and glucose in it. And so when they're at 1%, they don't make a big change in the rotation of the pol. But when they get up to 6-7%, which a heavily suckered crop may be, their effect on rotating the pol reading backwards is significant. So as the pol gets smaller, the purity gets smaller. So purity is a very interesting number, and you should always, when you quote CCS, you should always say what the purity is, because the CCS tells you what it is, the purity is telling you about which way it's going to go. So we get on to the CCS, which is a great one. Okay, CCS is made of three parts: your bricks, your pole, and your fibre. Now, fibre is not an easy analysis to do, so often mills use the class fibre, and you'll get grouped with all the same variety, whether it's old ratoons, plant, whatever, and you'll get a fibre figure that's a running average. You've heard me talk of NIR and how good it is. It's got problems, but it gives you the ability to have an individual fibre because it builds a calibration from your lab fibre versus the NIR, and as it goes through, you get an individual fibre if you're in an NIR mill. So really then you're getting your proper own CCS. And I know there's some politics around it, but otherwise you'll get an individual fibre, and that's not too bad either. Let's see what's on the other side. Okay, no, that's about it. So just running through it, people get hung up on constants and, my number one mill's this and that. But really, just watch this a few times, and I will put the stills in, and just know that all these terms are ones that you'll be exposed to. And just remember that, the more you understand about it, the better you're going to be able to understand things. And you'll understand that having your own individual fibre is a great thing because you'll be rewarded for your better canes, your plants in your first ratoon that'll have a lot less dirt and stool. And your older ratoons, you'll cop a bit more of a heavy fibre. And that's the market really telling you that, that's what it's worth. So let's get over a few things. And as an industry, things like the reducing sugar content and the ethanol content, which are telling us a lot about the state of the crop, could be there alongside your tonnage, your ash, your CCS, everything. And it's about getting smart. And, this technology's been around for a long time. And there's a rain again. There we go. All right, well, I hope this has been useful. And I'll include the stills, and please watch it a few times because it takes a while to sink in, but I believe that if you can't explain something simply, you're overcomplicating it because, it took me a while to get my head around this stuff. So good luck, and good luck with the rest of the season. And last thing, harvest the canes that are suckering, or they'll krill you in November if you're in a wet area. Thank you.